nice little thing, we pursue her. See a nice little thing, we pursue her. Yeah.
Very true. That's very true. And one of the things that, going back to like how we were when we grew up as kids, I wonder if like I'm the type, even if I can't afford something yet, you know what I mean? Or maybe, I don't know, whatever. My bank account says I can't afford it, whatever. I still feel like it's mine. You know what I mean? I feel like I like going through different neighborhoods and driving through different neighborhoods and just like kind of shopping, you know, in my head. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that. And window shopping, because it kind of inspires me and lets my brain know like, yo, that's what we're going for. And that's the energy that I'm putting out. So when we're little kids and I had my Michael Jordan poster up, like it was because it was something that I was striving for. So not only do I have stuff in here, you know, that I feel it represents who I am now, but it can also inspire me to become who it is that I want to eventually become.
Yeah, we have, like in that aspect, it's like you have these symbols up, right? Of like who you want to be or what that reminds you of every day, whatever Michael Jordan meant to you at that time in whatever specific shot. Maybe it was an action shot where he's like dunking, and that's like a whole lot of energy, right? Jumping out of the picture, jumping out of the frame. And that is a symbol just as much as affirmation. Some people like to see inspirational words out.
I like that, yeah.
So you can have those affirmations and those reminders in multiple forms.
So like imagery, affirmations, I like that. Because that's now that I'm looking around.
It evokes a feeling.
Yeah.
Which is strong.
And it almost now allows me to, like, as I'm looking around the room, now I'm going to appreciate certain things being in certain places, maybe that I'm not even thinking about right now. You know what I mean? So that's definitely, so I guess we'll go back a little bit. It sounds like you were always a designer at heart. But what age did you, or what did you study in college? Because I want to.
Okay. Yeah. So in college, I actually studied sociology in my undergrad.
Does that help you with what you do now?
Yeah.
It does?
Definitely. I definitely helps me in terms of, going back to the conversation of working with couples and working with families and looking at all of the relationship dynamics and sort of, lifestyle. And it really focuses sociology, psychology, anthropology, all those social sciences that I studied in college really serve as like the backdrop and the foundation. Because in order to design for someone on that level that we've been talking about, it's so intimate. You really have to get to know someone, and you have to read them and all the cues and things that they're telling you and what they're not telling you, right? You have to read between the lines, watch their body language, watch everything that they're doing. Like, I love going to people's homes for meetings. I know some people like bringing people into the office. I want to be in your home. I want to be in your space where it's your element. I want to see what's working for you, what's not working for you, and how can we make it better.
So in a lot of ways, I can see the connection because you are reading that person. And what's funny is, I don't know, do you come across a lot of clients that will say, I want this, but they think they want it, but
All
what
the
they're
time.
really looking
That's
for
pretty much
is
everybody
like, wow.
who thinks they know what they want. Like, you might say, I want modern, and then I'll give you modern, or I'll show you something that's modern. You're like, oh no, that's too modern. I don't like that. That's too like cool for me or something. And then, okay, now I have to dial it back and go back and, maybe it's more transitional, or maybe you're a little more, I hate this term, farmhouse modern farmhouse. I don't even know what the term
That's the
is.
thing now?
I
like that, though.
It's an old new thing.
Mixing like the old with the new, the rustic with the modern kind of.
Rustic modern.
See?
But I like it when it's more industrial modern.
Explain the difference.
Okay, so rustic modern is think like country, so like the raw wood.
Like Yellowstone. Don't tell me you don't watch Yellowstone. Oh, yo, stop the interview. Yo, we're good. Yo, cut this.
I don't watch Yellowstone.
It's all good. Like a Western. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, like a Western,
Yeah.
but almost like, think of like cabins, so like the big beams. And then there's a lot of contrast in colors and materials. So like there's a lot of whites and blacks and those warm like red and orange tone woods.
Okay.
So when you bring in the industrial aspect, it just gets a little bit cooler. And I'm like, primarily, I'm a New York City designer. So it's also a little bit more city. So we have a little bit more of the metals. And then bringing in the modern side makes it, when I do it, it's just warmer. So bringing in like the cozier fabrics,
Right.
more of like the plant life and everything to make it.
So like the industrial, I think of like the Brooklyn apartments that may have been converted to lofts and stuff like
it's
that.
Just, I think architecturally, it's more interesting than farmhouse modern is more of like a country home,
I get what
but
you're saying.
made modern.
get
And
what you're
industrial, we have like the high ceilings, like you said, like the loft. We have like floor to ceiling windows
Yeah.
with the grid and the black, and it's just cool.
That's my lane. All right, I'm with the industrial. Forget the farmhouse. I'll take the industrial. All right, so then the college helped you. Do you think, like, let's say for somebody who's watching this that may be deciding whether or not, you know, they want to go to college, or let's say they already went to college, or is it an easy career? Not easy, but what would you say to somebody that's considering a career change or this being their first career as far as interior design?
Well, I think first of all, if you're considering a career change, then that means that there's something happening in your life currently that is not meant for you to stay there forever. Right? If you have that thought in your head, then it means that something has to change. Maybe it's your career. Maybe it's where you live. Maybe it's who you hang out with. Maybe it's the way that you eat or the activities that you do, right? That part is you have to do a deep dive in yourself and find out what is it that actually needs to change. Is it my job? Because that's kind of easy to say, right? Like, I'm unhappy with my life. Let me change my job.
Yeah.
Right?
Like that's
because
the only
that's
thing.
like an
Yeah.
external factor. Everything else is more like internal, or it's a big change. Like a move is a big change, right? So that requires you to actually sit and still and think about what is it that I'm really unhappy about.
So this is where the sociology and everything
Yeah.
comes into play. All right, you're breaking me down. You're breaking me down. Like everything you're saying, I'm incorporating it from me. I'm thinking like, okay, maybe I. So I don't need to change. Well, change my career. I'm changing my career. I'm becoming an interior designer. No, I'm changing it to become a vibe coach.
Yeah. Come on,
Become
the
a
vibe team.
become a vibe coach. All right. So after college, is this something that you jumped directly into, or?
No, so I had taken like a year off after college and did like kind of like wanderlusting and did some random jobs here and there. But I kept coming back to interior design as just like as weird as it sounds and as cliche as it sounds, I felt like there was like a pull, like it was pulling me. Like everywhere I turned, I was like, ooh, that looks good and that looks cool. And like watching HGTV all the time, which now I'm like, can't stand it.
For it? Whoa, don't talk about HGTV.
That's like a thing in the industry.
Oh,
It's
so
like-
now, all right. So you look at it like somebody like me who enjoys HGTV.
But I was there.
No, I get it, but
before,
it's
or,
more. It's like
I
a
loved
basic.
it.
It's like, yeah, that's intro level. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes. It depends on the show.
okay,
Definitely depends on the show.
yeah, because they may want to bring you on one day, so we can't completely.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But a
Yeah.
lot of it, what I find is more of the drama and the build, right? The construction. Not so much of the design and the process and everything that goes into that, which is what I'm really interested in, right?
Yeah.
I'm not watching a show to watch someone build the house. This is how you put the nail in the wood
Yeah.
to build the house. I want to see like, okay, we're picking these fabrics, and this is why I'm picking this and that. And my inspiration for this whole wall is because the client loves traveling, and we have this, wood wall that's inspired from, a place that she saw when she was traveling somewhere that she can't get out of her head, or something like that.
That seems like the fun stuff. That's where the creative stuff, the real creation.
I want to see the creative stuff, not
Yeah.
just the technical build stuff and what happens when it goes wrong.
Yeah. And the dope thing about design is, and correct me if I'm wrong, somebody may not realize everything that you're involved with. Because I feel like just knowing that you know how to hang, like I remember when we were hanging photos and stuff like that, or TV, I don't know what we were talking about, but
I think it was TV.
yeah, and you kind of was like, well, you just do this, and I was like, wait, she knows that. So there's a lot more
Right.
that goes, rather than just pointing. Sometimes you actually have to.
Well, I know that there's a lot that I know a lot about, or I know a little bit about a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Like I'm not gonna hang the TV, but I know what you need in
Right.
order to hang it.
Right.
And I know that sometimes I'm the one who has to supply everything that, if it's a handyman or the contractor needs to hang the TV, I want to know what to get.
The more you know.
And I have to make sure that I have the right person, because if I don't have the right person, I want to know that too. I want to know that he's not hanging the TV.
Right.
And that this $2,000 TV that my clients just bought is going to come crashing.
That
on the
happened to
wall.
me.
Yeah.
In Indianapolis, that happened to me. You remember that? Yeah, it happened. My TV fell off. I hired my people. I just got somebody downstairs, like one of the maintenance guys. And I was like, yo, you could hang my TV?
Right,
And
exactly.
the thing was upside down. So when it like would lock in place, it slipped out and just fell. Yeah, so. Wait, hold up. That happened in Miami too. Now I'm thinking about it. Yo, I need to. Yo, from now on, go to Best Buy and go to Geek Squad. Yeah. It wasn't this one. It was the other.
Something happened here.
Yeah, oh man, yeah. I've messed up a
Exactly
few.
the point.
I've messed up a few.
If that was me doing it, right?
Yeah.
If I was the one who hung your TV and told the guy what to do, then you would be like, Jade, my TV just fell.
Yeah.
Da, 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 and you'd be freaking out, and I hate those phone calls.
Yeah,
So I also have to do damage control,
yeah,
right? And before it happens,
Yeah.
prevent any damage. From
yeah.
happening.
And yeah. To be clear, what happened here? Yeah, I didn't check the wall, and it wasn't that it was hung wrong here. It was that the actual wall was weak. Like so the wall was like.
But that's the point. is
Yeah.
that you need someone
Yeah, you need
who
somebody to do their
knows,
due diligence,
This
yeah.
wall is weak.
Yeah.
So we need to hang it a different
Yeah.
way.
And in Miami, what happened? It was in Miami, I was moving the TV when it fell. I think both situations I'm moving. Whatever, neither here nor there. Let's get back to you. Not gonna make it about me.
Yeah, we went on a tangent.
Yeah, we went on a little tangent,
Shit.
but we're gonna circle it back. We were talking about college and whether or not like
College,
somebody that may be
after
looking to
college.
transition,
Right.
needs college. And then for you, what that experience was. You said you took a year off. You mentioned the term wanderlust. What
I
is
was like,
that?
when you're just kind of like wandering and trying to like figure out your path and what you want to do.
Right.
And it can also be, I think, like after high school and you take like a gap year when you're like taking that time for yourself, or like, back in the day when there was no college, I think mostly men would do this, but they would go out for, a couple years and go traveling and sailing the world and figure out what it is that they wanted to do. So that's kind of what I was doing during that year after college.
I like that, just overall, a gap year, whatever it is, because a lot of times we're just kind of, we're supposed to do this, then we go to elementary school, then we go to middle school, then we go to high school, then we go to college. Why? Because everybody else is doing it. And I think that year, whether you take it, maybe taking one both, like right after high school, taking a gap year, and then if you decide to go to college, at least you'll have more of an understanding on what you're going to college for. And I think just that year of working or just traveling or just whatever you're doing, it matures you in a way to where now your approach to college is different, to where you'll get more of a return on it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that thinking back, like at the time when I was applying to college, it was like I just got to get into college.
Right.
I went in undecided. I didn't even know what I wanted to major in
Right.
until I was taking classes, and I was like, sociology is so cool. I love it, and I ended up majoring in it. But that wasn't something that I wanted to have my career path in, sociology.
Yeah.
So I think taking that, like, if I could go back, maybe I would have taken a gap year or, you know, gone to something where I could do something where I could just explore a little bit.
I think
Because
yeah.
you get so hyper focused
Yeah.
on, okay, you got to get into college and then you got to get a job. Like, that was my focus. I didn't plan to have this, like, wanderlust gap year after college. It just happened. When I was in school, we had the largest class across the nation. So you can imagine how much competition there was for jobs and even getting into college. There was so much competition that there wasn't a lot of room, especially for entry-level jobs, right? Everyone was like, oh, it's entry-level, but you need 2 to 3 years of experience, or you need this type of specific degree to get into this
Right.
job. And I just found myself going around in circles like, I don't have any of this criteria, and no one's going to hire me for a real job.
That's true. That's true. That's one of those things, those journeys that we take that we just never know what's on the other side.
Right.
But hold on, we're going to take a little break. I got to refill my wine glass, and then we'll get right back into it. But yeah, it's been real so far.
Big fish, we the ones that you wanna get with. Took a couple L's, rung a